Hey, what's up guys? Tonight's topic is Path to Oblivion. Ukraine military gains could deepen Russia's economic problems. Ukraine's military has had stunning success in recent weeks, recapturing Russian occupied territory in the northeast and south of the country. Holger Schmidin, chief economist at Barbering, said that the recent Ukrainian military gains could hit Russia's economy hard. The economy's intelligence unit is projecting a Russia GDP contraction of 6.2% this year and 4.1% next year, which is the global forecasting director Agate Demaris told CNBC is huge by both historical and international standards. Well, Ukraine's counteroffensive, which has seen vast swathes of Russian-occupied territory get recovered, could be compounding Russia's economic troubles as international sanctions continue to hammer its fortunes. Ukraine's military has had stunning success in recent weeks, recapturing Russia-occupied territory in the northeast and south of the country. Now, Kiev is hoping to liberate the Luhansk in the eastern Donbas region, a key area where one of two pro-Russia self-proclaimed republics is located. Holger Schmidin, chief economist at Berenberg, said the recent Ukrainian military gains could hit Russia's economy hard, even more so than before. The Russian economy looks set to descend into a gradually deepening recession, Schmidin said in a note last week. The mounting cost of a war they did not going well for Russian President Vladimir Putin, the cost of suppressing domestic resentment, and the slow but permanent impact of sanctions will likely break down the Russia's economy faster than the Soviet Union crumbled some 30 years ago. He highlighted that Russia's main bargaining chip when it comes to the international sanctions imposed by the West. Its influence over the energy market, particularly in Europe, was also waning. Although Putin closed the Nord Stream 1 pipeline on 31 August, the EU continues to fill its gas storage facilities at slightly slower but still satisfactory pace. He noted, adding that even Germany, which has particularly exposed to Russian supplies, could even get close to its 95% storage target ahead of winter. Energy problems. Europe's rapid shift away from Russian energy is particularly painful for the Kremlin. The energy sector represents around a third of Russia's GDP, half of all fiscal revenues, and 60% of exports, according to the Economist Intelligence Unit. Energy revenues fell to their lowest level in over a year in August, and that was before Moscow cut off gas flow to Europe. In the hope of strong arming European leaders into lifting the sanctions, the Kremlin has since been forced to sell oil to Asia at considerable discounts. The decline in energy exports means the country's budget surplus has been heavily depleted. Russia knows that it has no leverage left in energy war against Europe. Within 2 or 3 years, the EU will have gotten rid of this dependency on Russian gas, the EU's global forecasting director Agate Demaris told CNBC. This is a key reason why Russia has opted to cut off gas flow to Europe now. She suggests with the Kremlin award that these three could carry for less weight in a few years' time. GDP slump. The AIU is projecting a Russia GDP contraction of 6.2% this year and 40.1% next year, which the Demary said was huge by both historical and international standards. Russia did not experience a recession when it was first placed under Western sanctions in 2014. Iran, which was entirely cut off from SWIFT in 2012, something that has not happened to Russia yet, experienced a recession of only around 44% in that year, she said. Statistics are scarce on the true state of the Russian economy, with it currently keeping its card relatively close to its chest. However, Bloomberg reported earlier this month, citing an internal document, that Russian officials are fearing a much deeper and more persistent economic downturn than their public assertions suggest. Putin has repeatedly claimed that its country's economy is coping with Western sanctions, while Russia's first deputy Prime Minister Andrei Belezlov said last month that inflation will come in around 12 and 13% in 2022, far below the gloomy projections offered by global economists earlier in the year. Russia's GDP contracted by 4% in the second quarter of the year, according to statistics service Rosstat, and Russia upped its economic forecast earlier this month, now projecting a contraction of 2.9% in 2022 and 0.9% in 2023, before returning to 2.6% growth in 2024. However, the Marys target that visible data point at a collapse in domestic consumption, double-digit inflation and seeking investment, with a withdrawal of 1,000 Western firms also likely to have implications for employment and access to innovation. Yet the real impact of sanctions on Russia will be felt mostly in the long term. In particular, sanctions will restrict Russia's ability to explore and develop new energy fields, especially in the Arctic regions, she said, because of Western penalties. Financing the development of these fields will become almost impossible. In addition, U.S. sanctions will make the export of the required technology to Russia impossible. Sanctions here to stay. In her State of the Union address last week, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen lauded the impact of EU sanctions, claiming that Russia's financial sector in own life support. We have cut off 3/4 of Russia's banking sector from international markets. Nearly 1,000 international companies have left the country, she said. The production of cars fell by 3/4 compared to last year. Airflow is grounded planes because there are no more spare parts. The Russian military is taking chips from dishwashers, and refrigerators to fix their military hardware because they ran out of semiconductors. Russia's industry is in a tatters. She added that they currently had put Russia's economy on the path to oblivion, and both the sanctions were here to stay. This is a time for us to show resolve, not appeasement, von der Leyen said. As the Kremlin scrambles to strengthen security ties, have been shown by the West. A top Russian official stated on the visit to Beijing last week that Moscow says depending strategic ties with China as a key policy aim. Putin also met Chinese President Xi Jinping in Uzbekistan last week as the two countries thought on non-limit relationships. However, several commenters have noted that the Russian bargaining power on the world stage wanes. China will hold most of the cards as the two superpowers attempt to cement further cooperation. In the long term, China will be the sole economic alternative for Russia to turn to, but this process will be tricky as China will remain wary of becoming overdependent on Russian commodities. The EU's demerits added. And well, it's already all. See you the next episode, guys. Good night.